Wendell Young. Wendell, at the age of 5 or 6, when you started playing the game of hockey, I heard that you used to get Boston Bruins telecasts, and your actually favorite player in number was Bobby Orr, number 4.
Absolutely. We, in our neighborhood, I guess not even our neighborhood, in Nova Scotia, where I'm from, we had 3 stations, and you still had the rabbit ears, and we had 3 stations, and then lo and behold, there was something called cable, and we were able to get, I think, the Bar Harbor, Maine station. So we were getting a couple of U.S. stations, and of course they had the Red Sox and the Bruins on, and that's back when Yastrzemski and Rice and all those guys were playing. So I became a Red Sox fan, and I became a Bruins fan, of course, with hockey. And favorite player was Bobby Orr. First year I played, I was number 4 playing defense. I wasn't a goalie. I was playing defense number 4 because he was my favorite player. I didn't play like Bobby Orr. I don't even know if I scored a goal.
So move on to becoming a goaltender. That's a pretty neat story too.
So I, first year playing defense, going into the playoffs, a second game and a 2-game total goal type thing. Our goalie, snowstorm or something, our goalie couldn't make it. Get out to, coach comes in, who wants to be a goalie? Everyone in the room put their hand up except me. And my older brother was a goalie. So my dad goes, you sure you don't want to be a goalie? I go, no, not a chance. I do not want to be a goalie, no. And lo and behold, the coach comes over, he goes, I can't pick amongst everyone. You're going to goal. And I was like, no, I don't want to be a goalie. And I was almost crying because I didn't want to get in goal. Get the equipment on, go out, get the first shot and warm up. I'm like, oh my God, I love this. And I was hooked. And I think I had 4 shots that day. I remember one. I can remember the shot. And I can remember it was one on my blocker and I trapped it. And I was hooked. Like, it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And I was like, and I got like, it was like a 10-0 shutout. And it was the greatest thing. But you have these moments as you've had them yourself, anybody who's been a parent, you've had these where you can't get through to your kid. I had it the next game because, we moved on to the playoffs and our goalie's back. And my dad was trying to explain. I remember crying in the old Halifax Forum that is still there, crying in the hallway why I couldn't be the goalie for that game. And my dad, I still picture it, and he couldn't get through to me. And I've had those moments, we've all had them with our kids trying to explain something when they're little, why things are happening. And I was crying why I couldn't play goal. Of course, fast forward the next year, I was playing goal, and I haven't turned back. Sometimes there's been days when I was a goalie that I wasn't happy with that coach picking me and making me be a goalie. But overall, I think it was pretty good.
I have 3 other questions on sports, so let's get through these. And I think you'd like this, and this is what I really firmly believe also, multi-sports, not just playing one game and trying to excel in it. Play everything, get to know people, and be better. And first of all, box lacrosse. You played lacrosse. Now, I could see you playing lacrosse. If people here do not know box lacrosse, it is wicked. You're stuck in a hockey rink facility, and you can slash, you can cross-check. It's crazy.
It's like, I've watched it at the pro level. It's a vicious game. But, growing up, like, we played football, we played box lacrosse, we played softball, baseball, you name it. Basketball, not so much for me. And I don't know if you've been told the story, but I went for a layup and the ball ended up in the other end because I didn't have the coordination. And I don't have coordination. I'm very uncoordinated. I'm a bad dancer. All those things, I'm very bad at it. I think, and I tried to explain that this summer, a bunch of our old friends from my hometown, we all got together and it came up and I go, I'm not coordinated at all. They go, well, you played all these sports and you got to play hockey as a pro. And I go, I have maybe fast twitch, more than most people, my reflexes. I go, my coordination is awful. But yeah, the box lacrosse was one of the funnest things. Like, it was so fun to play. It was physical. It was a lot like hockey. There's a lot of movement, all that stuff. And I wouldn't play goal in it, and not a chance. We went a year and a half struggling to find a goalie, and always, we get a goalie, and so about a year and a half playing on this team, the coach comes up to me and goes, I got to talk to you. And I go, what's up? He goes, I just found out that you're the top-rated goalie in Canada in hockey. And I go, well, I play on travel teams and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, well, you're playing goal for lacrosse. I go, no, I'm not. I go, you might think I'm crazy playing goal in hockey. Not a chance am I playing it in lacrosse because they are out there. Like, that's crazy, the stuff that goes on in being a goalie in lacrosse. And he goes, well, you got to play. And I said, no, I don't. He goes, you do? And I go, no, then I quit. I either play as an out player or I don't play at all because I am not playing goal in lacrosse. Not a chance. That's the one time I really said no way to a coach.
Well, two more things and quickly. Football, I know in high school you made the varsity team as a freshman, which doesn't happen very often. In 1981, you were on a softball team that won all of Canada, and you were voted best second baseman in the tournament itself. So winning a Canadian championship is unbelievable.
I got to do these interviews more often. I mean, it's great for my ego. Yeah, I've been fortunate to like being around really good sports people, and again, this summer being around my old friends, my good friends, and best friends growing up, and we talked about that we played on all these teams that were fortunate. You know, we won the Memorial Cup that same year that we won the Canadian softball championship.
Crazy.
And look, I played in the Canadian championships of lacrosse then too, box lacrosse. So, but I was fortunate to be around, as my whole career has been. I've been fortunate to be around really good sports people, really good teams, and I've been blessed with all that. But hockey was the winter, and then I had, and there was some crossover where I had football.
Sure.
I had times in I was playing softball, which is big in Canada, but I was going from softball practice to football practice to lacrosse practice and to hockey. And then I remember one quick story. My mom said, "You're exhausted all the time, and at schoolwork and everything." She goes, "You got to quit a sport." And I said, "Okay, I'm going to quit hockey." And she hasn't seen it. There was a thing. So fast forward about 10 or 15 years, I said, "Mom, do you remember the story?" She goes, "Yeah." And I go, "I know, we were driving home from this certain place." And you said, and I go, "What'd you say?" She goes, "Nothing," because that was, I go literally at the time, it might have been football and lacrosse might have been my favorite at the time.
Great
But I love
stuff. Great stuff. We'll be back with more Wolves hockey after this.